in this segment, I'm going to show you a finger-picking guitar, 80s style pop rock kind of guitar lick from that's incorporating some finger-picking things. So I'm going to be playing like a bass line and melody or top line at the same time. So it sounds like this. Okay, so it's a little bit challenging because you have to stretch and use your pinky finger, so if you're just beginning, it might be pretty hard for you to learn this, but if you've already been playing a little while and have some strength in your left hand, then it would be a good fun challenge for you to learn this. So let's break it down and I'll show you all the notes, and then we're going to zoom in on the right hand and I'll show you what my right hand is doing as far as finger picking. And believe me, I've tried to play this with a pick and it doesn't work. You have to use your fingers. Okay, so this is in the key of B. I'm in standard tuning on my guitar, A440 tuning, and I'm playing off of the 7th fret of my guitar, so there's my B note right there, and that's going to be the first note of my first finger. So basically what I'm doing is I've got my pinky holding down that goes on through the whole thing, right? That's, let me show you the notes. It is the 10th fret of the E string and 10th fret of the B string. Those two notes. Okay, so you've got to get your pinky there. I mean, if some of you guys that have a longer reach, maybe you could use your third finger, but I don't think you can because you have to use your third finger to play the notes down here. So really, you kind of have to use your pinky finger and hold those two notes down and hold them tight. So you're going to have those notes going on while you're playing this little bass line with the rest of your fingers. Okay, so let me show you what that bass line is. That's what it sounds like, right? So I'm just using my first finger here on the 7th fret of the low E string. And then I've got my third finger going off of the 9th fret of the A string. And then I go up to the 7th fret of the D string with my first finger, and to the 9th fret of the D string with my third finger. So we've got this. And I'll do it over the top too. So a view from over the top, in case you can't see it very well, it's like this. 7th to 9th to 7th to 9th. Okay? So then we're going to put it all together. So you have to hold the pinky down. And that's the hardest part because it's really hard to do that reach and hold that down and then get the finger picking in at the same time. So let's bring the camera in for an angle on my right hand. I'll show you what my right hand is doing because you already know where to place your fingers here, and then we'll talk about it some more. All right, so this one is, all right, so let me talk about this. Your thumb is going to be playing all those notes that I showed you that do the bass part. Those are all going to be played with your thumb. So let me show you that real slow here. So your thumb is going to be playing the lowest note off your E string, the first one, on the one that's on the 7th fret. And then we do the one on the A string that's on the 9th fret. Play that with your thumb. And then play the one on the D string on the 7th fret with your thumb. And the one on the 9th fret of the D string with your thumb. And every time you use your thumb to play the bass notes, you always kind of pluck it down towards the ground. So just practice that real quick. Okay, here comes the hard part. Now place your pinky down. Still starting on that first note, which is your lowest note at the 7th fret, holding your pinky down over those two top strings at the 10th fret. And then you're going to pluck the lowest note and the top two notes at the same time. Pluck them. So you're plucking your your B string and your high E, I'm going to use my middle finger and my third finger. So the middle finger's on the B string and the third finger's on the high E string. And then I pluck them kind of up towards the sky. So I pluck down with my thumb and up towards the sky with my fingers. And if you kind of just pinch them together like that, then you get that. Then they all come together. And you have a little chord, right? So that's kind of the technique that I want you to use. So those two fingers are always going to be playing those top strings. So you might want to just do that and get used to playing them. And then add in that low note. Okay, so the next part is after you pluck them together, then you want to pluck those top strings 2 more times. So pluck them together 2 more times, and then go to your next bass note and pluck them together again 2 more times. Okay, so it's pluck, 2, 1, 2, pluck, 1, 2, and then the next part is the next bass note. So pluck it to the next bass note is the 7th fret of the D string. So now we're on the D string, and we pluck it together, all of them. Oops.
I saw it on the A string.
Oops, you're right. Okay, so pluck those strings together, your D string and the 2 top strings. And then our next note comes in off the D. So we want it right away like that. So we're not going to do those 1, 2 fills in between. We're going to play them both together this time. So we're going to do the 7th fret of the D string and the 9th fret of the D string. And at each time I played the D string, I also added those top notes. So it's like starting over again. You do the pluck everything, then add your 2 fillers, and then pluck everything again. Okay, so when we get to the D string, we're playing it all together. So those first notes have those in between, the 2 times in between. When we get to the D string, we just play 1, 2 all together, all the bass notes and the top strings. So let's just do that really slowly together a few times, and you can practice along with me. Okay? So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Now, if you're like me, your left hand is cramping already. I'll tell you right now, I'm a professional guitar player, and after doing a few sessions of playing that lick, my hands are cramping up, my left hand. Because it's hard to hold that and do it over. But it'll build up strength. It's build up strength, and it'll be really good practice for you. So keep working on it, and if you're working on an acoustic guitar, you might find it easier to play it on an electric guitar if you have an electric guitar, because the strings are a little closer together and that reach, it's pretty far. So, good luck with that, and shake your hand out and then do it again. Keep practicing it till you get all those notes ringing nice and clear, and you're not fumbling around, and then you're ready to move on to another finger picking lesson from Next Level Guitar.